Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the AFLNT's coverage of the 22-23 TIO NTFL Final Series from TIO Stadium in Larrakia Country in Darwin. Semi-final action number 2 in the Men's Premier League competition, Southern Districts versus Waratah. My name's Nick Danks. My commentary partner is Ashley Manakaros. Big first quarter there for Waratah. Southern Districts started off strongly, kicked the first one, but then Waratah went bang, 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 bang.
Yeah, they did, just through quick movement through the middle and then the marking of Darcy Hope. But up forward, they just looked the goods. And I got to say, again, full credit to their defensive six as well. O'Sullivan, O'Dwyer, really, and then Dylan Collis really putting the pressure on and then connecting up. Thomas Cree was excellent. Goal scorers for Waratah so far. Darcy Hope's the only multiple goal scorer amongst the crew. And then you've got Cree. You've got Cree, Robbie Turnbull kicked a great one, Corey Rich kicked a great snap, and then you got Tommy Benulis with, Marcus Waddy with one as well, and the only two goal scorers, Jack Sexton and Luke Smith for Southern District. So it's game on here, 22 points the difference, which would be like gold.
Absolutely.
In a major qualifying final.
Absolutely. The winner of this game tonight goes straight through the grand final. The loser will take on St Mary's, who defeated the Nightcliff Tigers by 35 points earlier on tonight. But we're back in action for the second quarter.
One out easily by Dennis. They're going to run onto it here and get it out through Smith. It's chopped off though by Golden. Cameron Ellis-Yeoman can't get it out cleanly. Under pressure was Sexton. Mentha's there, but it's Golden on the boot. Golden though kicks it out wide. He's looking for Corey Rich. And Rich originally had fingertips on it, but spilled it at the last moment. It goes out of bounds.
The Crocs have looked good early in that first quarter when they got the ball forward really quickly. And then they started to mess around a little bit, and Waratah's cutting it off and pushed it forward for their 6 goals. So Southern District will need to keep their pace up in this early in the second quarter.
Well, joint win out there as it comes loose. Bowed, comes back to Kirby. Kirby with a right footer, just sends it up. It's going to bounce. No, a free kick's been found. I think someone was dealt with after disposal. So, yeah, slung after disposal is the call. And it's going to go to Bowd. The problem for Southern Districts at the moment is that Waratahs have got contributors down to potentially player 12 or 14.
Yep.
And Districts haven't. Sending it up to full forward. Had 2 bites of it there. Couldn't quite get it when it was Benulis was socket away from him. It's picked up by Anchors. Anchors on the right foot. And it's going to go out of bounds off the fingertips of Darcy Hope. So they haven't got the contributors going all the way down. We wait for that ball to be brought back in. It's in good field position for Waratahs. Benulis couldn't get quite hands on it. Knocks it forward. Comes out through McAdam, who balked once and then got it away.
He's done those little chip kicks a couple of times tonight when he's brought the ball out of defence, but it's slowed the game down a little bit.
Galbraith looks up. Punched away. Mentha leading the race the ball. Then he's got to hurry a handball. Just dropping the ball, dropping his body with Sexton there. Is not into it. Let go. Play on. Dennis with hurried handball comes back to Sexton. Now his kick. Found his teammate Ross. Ross just chips it over the top, but he kicks it straight to the Tars defender O'Dwyer.
And he had 2 players, Croc players loose then.
O'Sullivan, sorry.
Couldn't decide which one to go to, so he picked out the Tars player.
And then O'Sullivan went on to Kirby. Kirby's kick, though, was interfered with by Sexton and it's gone out of bounds. So the last line of defence there, O'Sullivan and O'Dwyer proving incredibly big headaches. O'Sullivan particularly, Kieran Andrew chopping in. Over the back. It's loose and skirmish, but Smith can get it. Handball to Sexton. He's got the runner over to him. Delaney. Easily dispossessed. Kirby ends up with it. The kick was high and long. Benulis was the leader. Not a great kick. Wouldn't have carried the distance. Play on is the call. And are we going to see a 50? We are.
Yes, we are. He did have 2 hands on that and he did knock it. Could have questioned whether it went the distance, but the umpire paid the mark.
Yeah.
Once that had happened and he knocked out of his hand, it was only one result going to happen.
Yeah, he had no other options after that. So It's Bowd that will come in and take the shot at goal.
It's a pretty friendly 50 metre, but he's running in from a long way. You know, he's right back there, so he's running in from a long way out.
So let's just see what Bowd can do here. Could this be number 7 and make life really difficult for the District's comeback in this first half, as Bowd just comes in easy as you like, a few steps and scores a goal.
That's not the start the Crocs wanted, but Bowd is on the scoreboard. That's 7 straight for Waratah, 2 goals, 2 for Southern Districts. But as you see here in the replay, he's taken... The mark came out of here really quickly. This may or may not have gone the distance. Nice little stab. Picked up like a slips catch. He claimed the mark. The umpire paid it. Once he knocked it out of hand, that was it. Yeah,
the player just sort of edging forward there. Never actually stood still. And again, we can question whether or not it was the 15. We'd have to get the wheel out and measure it. Kirby, though, we're going to go back into the middle. Kirby's up against Dennis. Dennis just punches it forward. Here the ruckman really jumped. Turnbull couldn't get a hold of it. Picked up and then sent forward by Waitman. Loose on the ground. Pressure's on. O'Sullivan. Just getting a little nudge over the line there was Waratah, but O'Sullivan again just leading the way out for his defenders. Waratah's defensive 6 really holding up, making it very, very difficult for Southern District's forwards. Dunstan is being well held by O'Dwyer. The big full forward as Dennis just slaps it into the middle corridor. This is promising. Socket off the ground there by Schwartz. Now he gets it back. In fact, it was Maney got it back, but got pinged in the process.
As you said, the Waratah defence is holding up very well. They're keeping their shape and they're attacking in packs when they need to, like they just did then.
So Rich goes sideways. Goes over the back. Handball there was clever from Cree, and then it's going to go in forward. Hope at the back!
Yep, he's been doing that all night. He's been playing off the back and then just waiting for that ball to come through and then taking the screamer for the crowd, which we'll have a look at again in a minute. But he's been playing that type of game all night. He's just been running backwards and then taking the running leap into it.
Yeah, that was the crowd. Another good mark from the full forward. You know, last week, Nick, I said that I considered 2 of the best contested mark takers in the competition were Jackson Calder and this man on screen, Darcy Hope. And Hope has shown it again tonight. He showed it last week in tough conditions. As he comes in, will he get rewarded with his 3rd? It's pushed it to the left. Well, disappointing. Hopefully we can get a replay of that mark at some point, but gee, that was, here it comes now. Let's watch this kick in and Hope. It's going to go forward. Handball from Cree. Anchors. Bang.
There he goes. Just playing off the back of him again as we
come back live. We come back live. Dennis got one hand on it. O'Sullivan was there up for it. Bit of a nudge in the back. Let go. Play on is the call. Carlin, hurried kick. It's going to bounce into McAdam. McAdam spills it. McCree comes out to Kirby. Can the big ruckman from 48 get one? You better believe it. Ooh. Well, the gap is now out to 8 goals.
They're going to have to do some throwing around changes, Southern Districts. You just can't see where the goals are going to come from at the moment. They look really, really good when they're playing at speed. They've just got no one who's taking any pressure up forward line. Tars are cutting it off. Their back 6 are keeping their shape. And then when they get up the forward line, you've got Hope and a few of the boys there running around by themselves. And
Kirby's one of them.
Yeah, Kirby.
What sort of message? I mean, he's a representative ruckman. Don't get us wrong. He rucked against South Fremantle, but he found himself all alone there at the 50. Knew what he was doing, though. He was pretty happy with the celebration.
Yep.
Pointed to his teammates. Now he goes up full of confidence. It's one out, though, by Dennis. Golden got a handball underneath. Kirby, though, he gets his hand on it everywhere. It comes to Turnbull. Turnbull kick. It was misplaced, but it's still going to end up with Morris. Morris is going to look for Hope. Hope judges it beautifully. Can't quite get a hold of it, though. brings it down, put under pressure, loose in the forward line. McAdam picks it up. He's got to go sideways. And he does. To Schwartz, who's come a long way. Schwartz has had to come on into the defensive 50. Chasing kicks. He sends it up to centre wing, and it's going to be marked by his teammate Andrew from Waratah. Just cutting off that transition out. Now it comes inboard to Turnbull. Waratah's in total control here at TIO Stadium. Major qualifying final as Turnbull sends it up looking for hope, but it's picked out of the air, sticks in the hands of Benulis like jam from a donut, Nick.
Absolutely, looked really good then. Hope if would have taken that if he hadn't have grabbed it in front of him. They are certainly looking good, Waratah, and they've got guys running loose all over the park at the moment. Southern Districts just look a bit of a rabble at the moment.
No, Benulis there just stuck his hands up. That ball was not leaving it. Sticky fingers.
Breezes into his face. He's going to have to aim for the left-hand post.
Can they get number 9? 9 goals. Looks pretty good. Goal umpire doesn't move. You know, if you are Ryan Ayres and you've got Arnold Kirby kicking goals and you've got your secondary ruckman kicking goals, well, then you're a happy coach.
Absolutely. 9 goals, 155, 2-2-14. So 3 goals, 1 in this quarter to 0 score from the Crocs. This is danger time now for the Crocs. I know there's 7 goals in it, but we're coming into the 10-minute mark of the second quarter. As we watch the replay here, they had 3 guys there that could have taken the mark then for the Tars.
Yeah, they certainly didn't mess around. We're going to have a restart. And a whistle sounded. Someone hasn't set up properly and someone will pay the price as a consequence of that. Is it a free kick or just a warning? I think someone came outside the 50, so it'll be a warning at 2 Southern Districts. So one more offence in their 6-6-6 lineup, and it'll go as a free kick. But Waratahs, 9 goals, 1, 55, 10 scoring shots to 4, 11 and a quarter minutes gone in this second term. Throwing down the gauntlet to the minor premiers in a big way. Tap forward by Dennis. Scooped up, though, by Kirby, who's grown a leg since he kicked a goal from 48. Still loose on the ground. Now it comes out. That was Turnbull. Turnbull's kick on the lead, and it was Benulis again. So Benulis, having kicked the 9th goal, has a chance to go back and kick the 10th goal.
It's an amazing turnaround considering round 3, Southern Districts defeated Waratahs by 37 points, and then in round 12 defeated by 28 points. I was expecting a game tonight that was going to be a little bit closer, but something's going to have to change in the second half of the Crocs. Well,
I'm just looking down at the interchange here as Benulis comes in, and I see that Dylan Collis has come off. He's got that heavily right foot strapped.
Push that far left.
Yes, Benulis has just missed that bit of an opportunity there, goes begging. Probably deserved a goal with the effort that he'd put in to present himself. Now, the kick out just makes it to Bowden.
So 7 goals straight now, and if you look at the game, it's probably about the right margin.
Bowden onto Fijo and then onto the running Driscoll. Now it's over the top to a teammate in Barry. Picking it up there and just shrugging off one was McLaughlin. McLaughlin's awkward right foot kick is going to go up and bounce. It's going to be kept in, you would think, by Rich, and it is. Waratah's prepared to concede absolutely nothing. Kick over the top to Kirby. Kirby can't get a hurried kick away. McLaughlin comes back in to help for Districts. Taps it out to his teammate McQueen. McQueen turns one way and then back to the other with a centering kick. Loose on the ground. It's picked up by Barry. Barry's kick was hurried and out and through for a point. And so Dylan Barry having their only real opportunity is shot at goal this term.
Kirby's done some miles. He's signaling to the bench. He wants to come off for it now. He's run a long way in the last 5 or 6 minutes.
Not to mention he's kicked a goal, which we'll probably be talking about for hours later at the end of this match as it comes forward. It's run up, picked up by Cree. He's been one of their better players tonight as Thomas Cree. His kick, though, is going to fall well short. They get out of it. Districts, just Bowden. Handball backwards. They go over the top. And it's going to land in the hands of Delahaye. Delahaye taken away. Golden. Cree just handballs underground, but gee, it's successful. They just know what they're doing, playing with confidence, the red and whites. Hope sets himself up again. Can't come away with it though this time. Dennis has had to go a long way back. The ruckman. It's Brodie Carroll. Carroll onto Carlin. Carlin can chip it over. They can keep control here. It comes to Bowd. Bowd has another option further on, but he gets wrapped up, taken out. And that was Collis. Carlin, though, is back in there. Golden. Little chip over the top. Centre corridor. Turnbull wrapped up. And is there a 50? There is.
There is.
So he got wrapped up, taken to the ground. And
when you see the replay, it clearly had already had the mark. The umpire didn't have any option there, but to pay the 50, he'd clearly taken the mark.
Yeah, and again, as I've said a few times so far in this final series, a maybe goal, a maybe opportunity becomes a certainty as Turnbull gets on the board, and that's his second for the night.
It's 11 goals 2 to 2 goals 3. As you're watching the replay here, a rush kick out by the Crocs.
There's Carlin.
And all the numbers picked out the centre. Clearly a mark on the chest there. He's already got it. It's come in 3 steps later and threw him to the ground. Umpire standing about 3 metres from it, had no choice.
That was Maney. Little mistakes like that, and they're being punished on the scoreboard. So 10 goals 2, 62, plays through 2-3-15. 15 and a half minutes gone. The Crocs celebrating 40 years this year. Southern Districts, they had a big social function a few weeks ago.
Yep.
Had a couple of hundred there. Big night, big names as well. Comes out, picked up by Sexton, sent forward. Dunstan can't get 2 hands on it, so he's got to be happy pushing it to the ground. McQueen can't get clean hands and pick it up. But O'Dwyer can. Off to Rich. And then on to his teammate. And they can't get clean hands, so it's gone out of bounds to be thrown in, but gee, they're in control of this game at the moment. Dennis. Stepping back into trouble was Fijo. Now it comes back to Fijo through quick hands. He's lost it and he's going to get done for a throw. It was hot handball off Nicholas Waitman. Too hot.
Tars are not giving the Crocs any time at all and then getting loose when they've got the ball in their possession.
No, they're really wrapping up the ball carrier, aren't they? Pressure. William Collis goes to Carlin. He just dragged it in with one hand. He's looking for Hope. Hope's got 2 to beat. Huge contest there, and Hope sandwiched in between them. Asked the question, what about the high shot? No. Play on was the call. It's gone out of bounds. The right call as well. Collis indicates he wants to take the ruck, and he's going to go up against Matty Dennis. There'll be a height difference here. But he's got a small army around him as Darcy Hope. He got one hand on it, did well. Cree tried to get away from his opponent. McAdam couldn't, got pinned holding the ball. Mazzini has got it, steps around one. Now it comes to Bowden. Mazzini bouncing back towards him. He's got 2 to beat and uses the boundary line to save him for his trouble.
The Crocs were coming out there at pace, but had no one to kick to up forward line. That's where he had to go back with that handball, and then from then on, the Tars just circled him.
Well, I haven't seen enough of Mazzini. Shannon Rusker might have to, if he's going to throw. Nick, you said it about throwing his side around. Mazzini into the middle might be one of the things he's got to consider as they go forward again. We'll have a look at some stats at some point during this game, and we'll see just exactly how many forward 54As there has been. Taj Stanley has one bounce, then he's got to hurry up and get it back inside, and he does, to Matt Shannon. Shannon's kick. Oh, good mark by McQueen under tremendous pressure from Waratah. But he was up to it. McQueen plays on quickly. Left foot, sends it deep inside the forward 50. Dunstan couldn't get it. Benulis was falling back. Picked up by Dylan Barry, left foot snap. This time is true. Well, Barry makes up for the first one.
First goal of the quarter there for Southern Districts. 3 goals, 3-21 to 10-2-62 as we watch the replay here.
So Jake McQueen just sent it straight in deep. Dunstan couldn't quite get there. It was Benulis that actually chopped him out. Dwyer hurried handball out, but then Barry just settled himself. Left foot. No mistake. Well done. Good goal.
You're watching AFLNT's coverage of the 22-23 TIO NTFL Final Series from TIO Stadium here in Darwin. We're into just about to come into time on in the second quarter. 3 goals, 3-21, the Crocs to 10-2-62, the Tars.
Dennis, long tap away. Hankers comes in. Dancing off was the wing was Waddy, and a free kick's been found. It's going to go to Hankers, who was held off without it. He gives it off to Crocker. Crocker's kick went up to Morris, who got interfered with in the marking contest, and Morris will actually get the kick. Well, the thing is this, you got him in the back. So that was the problem with that entire movement, Waitman. We can just watch this on replay. Yeah,
no doubt.
Bit of an elbow there as it back live now, loose. Turnbull overruns it. Cameron Ellis-Yeoman can't get it. Hope has come all the way out from full forward and given some body on Nicholas Waitman. And the ball has gone out of bounds and will be thrown in. 22 points the difference at quarter time. Margin is now 41. Waratahs in front at quarter time, extending their lead in the second term. Just the 1 goal so far this quarter, no? 2 goals.
1 goal this quarter from the Crocs, Districts. And 4 goals from Tars in this quarter.
So we're going to have a few, we're into time on now, so we'll probably have about 5 or 6 minutes. O'Dwyer just spills it down. They've always got an outlet, they do. Collis. His kick, though, is to Ellis-Yeoman. Oh, running straight into trouble and got taken high was Smith. And just dropping to his knees. And he got taken high in the consequence. And he will get a kick. And coming out to take the mark. I reckon that might be close to the first mark that Dunstan's held tonight.
I think it is the first one they've taken in the 50 of any consequence anyway.
He certainly presented himself enough, but he hasn't been able to actually hold on to him. But he also has been worn like the proverbial glove. So the breeze by the Waratahs defenders.
Breeze coming straight across his face here.
Well, let's see what he can do. Let's see what he can do from outside 50. I think it's going to be one of those nights, Nick, where he doesn't get too many opportunities from inside the 50. And he's kicked straight into the man on the mark, who left the mark, and the 50-metre penalty. So if he was a half a chance before, now he's a real chance to kick a goal. As there's a little bit of push and shove, as O'Dwyer is having words with Sexton. Mismatch in size, but it'll be Dunstan that actually gets the kick.
You watch this, I reckon he would hit him on the mark even if he hadn't gone forward, but he's certainly in the good old days of about 3 or 4 years ago, that would have been a great smother, but you can't do that anymore.
No, not allowed to. You must stand still as Dunstan gets his first. So we don't have to worry about what he can do outside 50 because he can get him from inside the square.
So that's the second goal. So they got 2 goals in the first quarter, the Crocs did, and 2 goals in the second quarter. So 4 goals, 3-27, a 10-2-62. We're coming up to the 23rd minute mark of the second quarter here at TIO Stadium in Darwin in semi-final number 2.
Multiple goal scorers for Waratahs at the moment. Robbie Turnbull has 2 and Darcy Hope has 2. And they are the only multiple goal scorers on the field. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 goal scorers for Waratahs.
And if you looked at the players you said would make an impact at the start, most of those have scored or done something on the ground for the Tars as well. So, as you said, right across the field, they've got players that are standing up. Southern Districts need something to happen after half-time.
Dennis gave a little. Dennis got it. Golden came through from Waratahs. Cameron Ellis-Yeoman gets it. So it comes out to juggled into the hands of Turnbull, who just put it on the boot. Bouncing ball, Bowd's in there. Waitman's got a hurried handball back to McAdam. McAdam goes over the top to Fijo. And a free kick's been found because I reckon, no, advantage has been paid. So Fijo will keep going. It was Waratah and Barry. Barry's going to run it on and try and keep it in. Straight into him over the top. Now it comes back to his teammate, Ethan Maney. But there is a bit of a push and shove between Dylan Barry. And all eyes on there. But
Barry wasn't happy about the tackle right at the word go.
No.
As the ball was off of him. And I think the umpire agreed with him that it was certainly late. A bit of pushing and shoving off the ball. And
it's gone against him.
He turned it around. He must have said something to the umpire because he definitely got hit.
Yeah, but Collis, so it'll be Dylan Collis that actually has got that kick now. A little bit of a heartbreak there if you put in that much effort. They were away then, Districts. Kirby balks once, then gives a handball over the top. Turnbull with quick hands out to the running Golden. Golden can pick it up. Can he beat his opponent? He just goes long into the middle where he's got Waddy. Marcus Waddy on the boot, short. Picks out his skipper, Brodie Carroll.
Bo Schwartz caught one just above the shoulders. He's just come straight off the ground. He looks all right. He's going to just sit on the bench, but he did cop one as he went for that ball.
Well, Carroll has actually contributed a little bit tonight. Probably not the dominant game that we've always seen, but gee, there's been some dominant red and white players out there tonight. But one of the things Carroll has done this season, he's always bobbed up with his 2 or 3. And so let's see what he can do here. He's yet to have a decent shot at goal. Tonight he does. He goes back. Makes no mistake, the skipper, leading from the front.
You know when it's a goal from long out, when the goal umpire just stands there and looks straight above the head, he said, no, that's where that's going. 11 goals 2, 68 to 4 goals 3, 27. As we watch the replay here.
Kirby just clever there. Balked, went, come up, picked up by Turnbull.
He's playing like a rover, not a ruckman.
He is, isn't he? But Golden just backs himself, and the handball is really very long, and Waddy just get a lucky bounce, I'm going to say a good bounce. And then bang on the chest to Carroll. And of all the players on the field that you want to have a good foot pass to, it's always the skipper.
Yeah, absolutely. Doesn't cover, doesn't do it straight. But certainly, again, Brodie Carroll on his own then, running away from the Southern Districts players.
This is going to be, you know, I would suggest, Nick, who were talking off air, if they win this, does this mean that Waratahs become premiership favourites?
If they keep playing loose, I think absolute certainties that they're favourites.
Waitman pushes off his opponent. Bowden couldn't get it away. Turnbull can eventually. Turnbull, Magro just with body, and Waitman just run into each other. It's picked up by McLaughlin, and the siren sounds to end the first half here at TIO Stadium.
As we're going to half-time, 4 goals 3, Southern Districts 27 to Waratahs 11-2, 68. You're watching the NTFL's, the Men's Premier League semi-final number 2. We'll be back at TIO Stadium after this short break.
Involved in footy, and she was instrumental in St Mary's win last week. Let's see what she can do with this one.
Noted goal kicker as well, and she's landed that one. So the first on the board, St Mary's. They had to work hard for it, but under enormous pressure, the Waratahs defenders.
Her football O'Brien, and she should get Tars on the board with their first major for the game. A quick reply to St Mary's goal at the 8-minute mark of the first quarter.
I wasn't happy with that. Probably not the best delivery into Gunderson. Good pick up there by Long.
Danielle
Ponta right in front of goals, and she's got St Mary's second. So she dropped the sitter in the goal square, but she redeems herself and gets the second on the board. So back is O'Shea with their experience. I thought that was front-on contact there by Forshaw, but the umpire let it go. There's Singh, and she's got it.
Aggie Singh, what a goal. What a talent.
Drives it into the forward 50. Here's Jenna Singh hanging around. Celebrate gives it to her as well. She paddles it forward. Taken head high, and the umpire, I think, has paid that to Laura Smith, but the goal counts, so paying advantage, and Waratahs have the first goal on the board to start the second quarter, Liz. That's a good kick she can play on as well. She's a noted goal kicker, but that heavy ball couldn't really penetrate towards the goal. Singh go for her second, and she has. Waratahs get the first goal of the third quarter. So
Aggie Singh just showing her X factor there and how dangerous she is around goal.
This one, that's Smith. She's picked it up. Celebrities come on. Jenna Singh off the ground. Any other time that would have bounced through the goals, but it stays in the lake in the goal square. Singh again, and she's got her third.
Wow.
Waratahs have the second of this quarter, and Jenna Singh just dynamic. And we said at the start of the game, perfect conditions for her, and there we go, three goals. Just on her measure, I feel, but good kick into the Armstrong. So she takes the mark.
Kick this through for a goal.
And she just needs it and make the goal umpire do some work, but she's got her first of the afternoon.
She plays on.
Billy plays on quickly.
Emma start picking up, getting the quick hands out to Hannah Fosbrook. She gets it to Caitlin Armstrong, and she puts it on the boot for her second goal. So 2 goals in a minute for St Mary's, getting them right back in this game after Waratah have dominated for the last half an hour or so. Point makes it 6 points in the difference. So what can Hunt do?
So there she goes, and she just pops it through. She's got the goal. Waratahs have the very, very important goal, the first goal of this last quarter. Determination out there and leading. So celebrate. Here's these two again. They've gone at it, and there's the siren. So the winners, Waratah.
Wrapped up then again was Oborn. Now it comes out. Hurried left foot kick is a snap, and it looks pretty good. Everyone's happy with that from Waratahs.
Jake McCreary, I think it was, Ash. And
to Carroll. Carroll has at least one option, ignores him, and then instead goes for the better one, and that better option is William Collis. Collis just plays on. Left-footed goal, bouncing through, coast to coast, the red and whites go. So it was knocked away by the Dylan Collis. Still loose. Now it comes back to Yaren's right foot. Kick it goal is true. And the green and gold are on the board now.
It was a scoop out from the Tars hand, but anyway.
As Carroll just swings it around and the skipper kicks a goal.
Yeah, great finish there.
There are substantial skill errors, no question about that. That was Magro. Puts it straight on the boot. Oh, loose out the back. This is Bow. He's going to score again. I think that's his second or third, is it? Let me just check.
No, he's had
that's his first.
He's had a couple of chances.
He had a couple of shots. 6 from Waratahs. It's really held his own tonight. Now they've got Gooch is in there. Oh, they both looked at each other. Oh, they've overrun it. Calder has a crack, and Calder gets a goal.
Wow, comedy of errors.
Base here, Tars. Can they set it up? Morris. Kirby was up. Hope ran straight into Morris. He's going to go to the back to Anchors. Anchors into an open goal. Magro comes in, left foot. Looks pretty good off the boot. What he is given time through a very good Shepherd. Oh, well coming in was Musgrove. Musgrove, inside out, kick it, goal.
I think
he's accurate.
He has got it.
Collis and Yaron. Now it's out. Collis picks it up, and then handballs it forward. Carroll.
Yeah.
Now he gives it off to his running teammate in Scotty Carlin. And Carlin, if the game wasn't over before, he just put another nail in the coffin. Phil just gets it, kicks it, looking for Calder.
Oh, yeah.
2 bites, gets a grab. He's 65 out, Calder. On the lead and takes the mark.
Dylan Land.
They got there in the end as Dylan Land comes in. He's going to kick from 40 metres out. Stabs at it a little, but it's enough.
Goals for the night so far, and the distance won't be a problem, and neither will the accuracy as he thumps that through, and Waratah go marching on to the second semi-final next week, and a really impressive performance by their match. In the pocket, Wassimo's first there for Darwin. She gets tackled and manages to get her boot to the ball. Oh, the ball slips through the hands there. Kylie Duggan has a quick kick across the face of goal, but well read out there and well marked by Bianca Stokes.
The Darwin Buffett's the younger sister of the men's coach, Cammy Stokes. She's put that straight through for the first goal of the game, and all her teammates run to get around her.
And now they're just looking to spread, but just misses the target, and Roberts comes in, gets the hand pass to Lewis. Lewis kicks long towards goal. It goes over the top of the players there, and straight through. Bianca Stokes celebrates as the ball dribbles through for another goal.
Boot, she's got such a penetrating kick. She'll kick it over the top for a goal.
Freya Pearce up high in the ruck contest brought it down, and now Fomikong was being held by the jumper there, and it was pretty plain to see, and she'll go back and take the free kick. So Fomikong kicks. This one's going right to the goal line. It's going over, I think, and all the way through, and her teammates come around to celebrate with her, and it's been a while between drinks, but Fomikong breaks the ice and gets another goal on the board for Darwin.
To the face. Stings. Kat Simmons winning that ruck tap. Looking for Wardy again. She's held off the ball but manages to get a boot off the ground. And another boot off the ground by Nightcliff. DJ Greenoff runs out and picks it up, turns around, throws it on the boot, and she's kicked Nightcliff's first goal of the game here at the 13-minute mark of the final quarter. Well done, DJ.
Look to be coming here, but will they have enough time as the ball up happens? No one goes for the ruck contest, and there's a holding free kick. It's going to go Nightcliff's way once
right
again.
In front of goal.
Yeah. Lines up for a goal from directly in front. Kicks on the way now. It looks good. It's gone straight through the middle, and teammates come running and they celebrate. This is her, and a strong body contest again as the ball's caught in underneath, and the siren goes to end the game. So it was an exciting finish. Nightcliff were coming, but just ran out of time. Couldn't get those goals on the board early to really give themselves a shot at it. But full marks to them for the way that they battled the game out. And Darwin, of course, stay alive, go on into next week.
Kept alive by Eldridge, just on the line. Now he kicks a high one to full forward. Campbell again lurking at the back, can't do it. Holt Fitz runs in the goal square. He gets the first one. He likes that, and the Buffs are on the board. 1 goal, 1-7. They lead the Tigers yet to score. 2 full forward, I should say. Didn't quite hit Butcher there. Hooper at the fall of it, though. He'll snap around the corner, and the Tigers are on the board as well. They trail by 1. Hooper gets there first. The ball comes in, tap down from Bowen. Snap on goal. Gee, it's a big one, and he likes that. He gave a bit of a double cobra. Great goal to Waratah.
This afternoon as we tick into time on this second quarter.
Oh, the check side, has it gone through? No, just across the face. Still alive though, but it's gone through. The Tigers get one through Petros Politis in the goal square. Buffs caught nap in Bailey Edwards. Edwards now goes to full forward. Butcher does very well. He'll run into an open goal out the back and kicks a goal. Tigers have 2 on the board and they hit the front. 4-4-28 above the Buffs. 4-2-26.
Obviously Hammond heading down low might have given away the free kick as he continues.
Gets it out. Moody for his second in the quarter. Check sides it through and he's up and about. Tigers in front by 7.
Their own if it goes through.
Oh, not a good kick at all. I think it's out on the foot. Hasn't even made the distance, but he's hit up a teammate. I reckon he'll go the check side here by the look of his ball. He plays on. Goes through and he's gotten it. Tigers are on a roll. They're 4th of the quarter and they move out to a 13-point lead. And singles for the rest of the game to Hooper, Politos for the Tigers, and for the Buffs it's Holt Fitz, Waratah, Armab, Watkins and Stafford into the game in the Buffs who need to go quickly, move it forward. Here's Nicky into an open goal. It's a very heavy wet ball. Will that make the distance? It's through within the first 20 seconds. And look at the Stokes boys in the coach's box, and Coco Nicky's up and about. Oh, we've got a game on our hands, 5 points in it. Kim saw him kick 8 last year out at Palmerston. It's a good kick and he likes it off the boot. Buffs are in front after just a minute 50. Coach Barks, as you can see on screen there, just on the bench trying to keep control of things, though there's not much more he can do at this stage. There it is. Tigers are through. And for the Buffs, it's season over. Just 2 points the Tigers have gotten up by in a brilliant clash here at TIO Stadium. 6-7-43. They've beaten the Buffalo 6-5-41.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the AFL-NT's coverage of the 22-23 TIO NTFL series from TIO Stadium in Larrakia Country here in Darwin. Semi-final action number 2 of the TIO NTFL Men's Premier League competition, Southern Districts versus Waratah. My name's Nick Danks. My commentary partner this evening is Ashley Menakaris. And wow, what can you say about Waratah in that first half, Ash?
Well, they were the goods, and the scoreboard tells the story of just how good. 11 goals too. They were precise, they were accurate, and they made sure that they finished off properly from the hard work that had been set up at the back end by O'Dwyer, O'Sullivan, and also Crocker. They just kept running the ball out and then through that midfield. Gee, Abe Anchors, Turnbull. We saw Scotty Carlin throw in there as well, but Tommy Benulis up forward. Arnold Kirby in the ruck. You've just got to be super happy with him if you are Ryan Ayres. So a chance for Shannon Rusker at the halftime break to really reset the clock. But to be honest with you, not sure what he can do. The only move that I can think of in the early part is for him to move Mazzini, who has played up back so far as a defender. I'd move him into the middle. He's done that during the season. And at the moment, Mazzini has been given the job on Darcy Hope, who has pretty much taken everything that's come his way. Do you know, as I said just before the break, there's only 2 multiple goal scorers for Waratahs, but there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 goal scorers in their 11-goal haul.
Absolutely. A 41-point lead to Waratahs. They kicked 6 goals to 2 in the first quarter and 5 goals to 2 in the second quarter. So a big turnaround after losing the first 2 matches this season against Southern Districts Waratah. And of course, the loser of this game will meet St Mary's next week in the preliminary final, but we're ready to go in the third quarter.
As Kirby just smashes it out, and it comes to Thomas Cree, who then just goes sideways and puts it out in front of his teammate. It's bouncing ball onto centre wing. It's been picked up there by William Collis, who goes in short. Golden, it looked like a little bit of a training duel just then, as Golden goes in again and picks out his teammate, and that teammate is Joel Crocker, who's drifted down from half back. Crocker now gets back onto his preferred right, sending it up, looking for Hope over the top. Couldn't get clean possession. Comes to Bowd, right foot snap at goal and through for a point.
Again, loose players at the back then. He went to the right of goals. He got left of goal. There was 2 Waratah players loose. You would think Southern District's going to have to get the first couple in this game, because if Tars get it, it's going to be a long, long way back.
Sexton plays on quickly from defence and then sends it out to centre wing. It's going to be cleaned up, though, by Anchors. Well, in fact, it's Golden, sends it in. Hope with a grab and brings it straight down. Well, you could almost say there was no worrying about Hope then. It was a certainty.
Absolutely. They've been aiming, targeting for him tonight. He's been getting away from his defender pretty easily. And again, when that ball came forward, Jake Bowd was standing by himself in the goal square.
So as Hope comes back, and he's already got 2. Both of those came in the first term. Can he get a third? He's taken a couple of great marks tonight as well.
He's going to have to go to the right-hand post. The breeze is going pretty strongly now across the ground.
Let's just see how he goes here. He doesn't have to kick it from far. 25 out maybe. Just puts it up, and he's just pushed it way to the right and out of bounds on the full. So not sure about that.
Breeze is going that way, so I just didn't come back for him.
No, they get it out, though. They get it out the Crocs through Matty Shannon. Shannon's kick, McQueen. Smith was there as well. Smith, the best and fairest winner, number 32 for Southern Districts, but couldn't do much about that. McQueen got that right elbow heavily strapped. Just bounced off Dennis's shoulder and has gone up and down and will just be held, and we'll have a restart there on just shy of the half forward bloke.
Good crowd in here tonight. Great weather after some terrible ones last week. Some certainly wet, but a big crowd in here tonight for this game.
Comes straight through. Just sock it off from Golden. He's been a great contributor for them tonight. Picking up, though, was McLaughlin for Districts. Punched on by Sexton. Kirby. Mentha for Districts. Mentha's underground kick has gone to Schwartz, who gave a handball off to McQueen and then swivels back around onto his right from outside 50. In the square, bouncing through.
And they needed that one, that's to say the least. But McQueen's had a good run. He got that knock early in the game where he went off straight away. Didn't look good, but he's come back on with a strapped elbow. He is favouring it when he's running, but as you can see here,
well, he goes one way, but he's got to get back onto his right. He's a good 55 metres out. Ellis Yeoman there, just putting the pressure on and literally through the... I think O'Sullivan was asking the question, but the question didn't have to be asked. Goal umpire was in a great spot. Well, 5 goals, 333, plays 11, 470. They trail. 37 points the difference. 4 minutes gone here, third quarter. TIO Stadium, major qualifying final. The winner into the grand final. The loser goes through the preliminary final, repechage, and they'll play against St Mary's. Comes to Jake McQueen. On to Dennis. Matty Dennis just takes the step, sends it into centre half forward, but it's going to be marked by the Tars defence. O'Sullivan again. Now he's got Waratah, sorry. So Waratah. Again, they can run it out. Good transition here from the red and whites. And just slow it down, perhaps a little bit too slow for my liking. Golden might end up with this. He goes in and spoils. Turnbull just gets a hurried handball away, but it's chipped off by Sexton. Sexton for District sends it up to the forward line of Dunstan. Dunstan with a handball inside to Cameron Ellis Yeoman. Can they get 2 in a minute? Oh, Ellis Yeoman on the left.
The AFL experience there, took his time, popped it over the top, and that's 2 in a row, which is exactly what they would have asked for at half-time, was go out there and get the first couple. Didn't look good early, but they got the first one of the match, and that's the first time they've got 2 in a row.
No, and it was Dunstan there with a big handball, but he just happened to keep his feet, which was really good. He just gives a handball over, and Ellis Yeoman is a bit of a freight train. Bang, left foot. Can they get some momentum going? That was 2 in a minute. And just keep in mind they were 4-3 at half-time. They now moved to 6-3. 2 quick goals. Sexton with a kick out of the air. Not sure what that was about, but he got away with it. McQueen, though, has got it. Ellis Yeoman with a little bit of body. Let go. Play on is the call. Wattie's in there to try and help clean up. Schwartz got taken high in a tackle. Let go. Play on is the call again. They give him every opportunity. Turnbull straight into trouble and wrapped up. Brought to ground. And a holding the ball decision's been paid against Turnbull. Well, he ran straight into the hard-hitting tackle of Mentha, who played on. He's made an absolute meal of that. He's lost possession and the opportunity. As Tars come up, Hope got one hand on it. Bouncing ball. Smith burrowed back. Mazzini, hurried handball. High tackle then. High tackle got put onto Fraser Driscoll, who plays on quickly. Driscoll. Sexton knocks it forward. Now it's a left foot pick up there from Shannon. Oh, coming across strong with a huge punch was O'Sullivan. Just getting out of trouble, Collis. Kirby pushes one off, then handballs up in the air, bouncing ball. And Wattie just guides it out. You know, tonight, Nick, again, from Waratah's point of view, haven't seen Jaden Magro injected into the game just yet. I haven't seen him take bigger control of the game.
No, I think he only had about 1 possession in the first quarter, and since then he's been very, very quiet. We haven't called him at all tonight, which means it's scary, though, for the Crocs if he does start stepping up.
As McQueen just ran straight onto it with huge body, just sent it up looking for Cameron Ellis Yeoman. And he was there, making it very good, difficult for his Waratah opponent. The ball went out of bounds. He's asking the question about a hold, but there was no hold. Ellis Yeoman was just backing up into him. Umpire Collins was Johnny on the spot. Big second half set up here at TIO Stadium. Comes back out again. That was Dunstan with a hurried handball. Picked up by Waratah. Golden Now Carlin can run it out. Have they got an overlap? Stepping back into trouble and then ripped over there was Morris. Oh, great body there coming through was Shannon. And I think he might have, no, in fact, he took at the time Morris, well, it looks a bit high. Morris has gone to Bowd. So Jake Bowd can go wide again and he finds Crocker, who's drifting down from half back. Crocker gets to outside 50 looking for Darcy Hope, but forward. Hope got one hand on it, two hands on it. Hurried handballed out though. And they can't get it away cleanly. It was Fijo with the hot hands.
Matt Shannon went down in that tackle. He's down. He's got a couple of trainers around him now. He's not looking good at all. He copped it in the midriff and he's not looking well. He's coming off now.
Well, he's going to be a loss. He's going to be a loss.
I think it's his left arm, but he's just coming down now. Just knocked the wind out of him.
As we wait for the play to restart, yeah, I think he's probably just suffered a little bit of a... he's had the wind knocked out of him, as you say. Comes loose, picked up there by Bowden. Overstepping it there was Fijo. Dances one way, then back the other with a left foot kick. Not pretty, but gets away with it. Smith has got to go backwards, handball up in the air. Schwartz is down there. Fijo's just following it through. It comes to Dylan McLaughlin. Hurried kick. Kirby got two hands on it. And then tried to give O'Sullivan time to get the ball out of there, and he couldn't. And O'Sullivan just guides it out. So the ball's on centre wing in the interchange area here at TIO. District staging a mini fight back here. They've had the work ahead of them. Comes to Fijo. Just sends it up to half forward. Oh, no sense of safety from Sexton as he goes over the top to Dylan Barry from Dunstan. Barry overruns it, then falls over. Gooch is going to pick it up. Gooch just farms off one. Can he get control back? He's helped out by Collis, who soccers it forward. Oh, he's got a packet out there as an absolute paddock as Waddy. Marcus Waddy has one bounce. He could probably have another one if he wanted. He doesn't instead. He wants to go into Benulis. He can't mark it cleanly. It's cleaned up, though, by Driscoll. Cree comes in to put pressure on the ball carrier. Waters there. Driscoll's had to come all the way out to help and smacks it out of bounds.
Looking good, come down that outer wing then the Tars were. They just couldn't get that final pass right coming in. Had a couple of players close, hoping it had dropped off the back, but he couldn't get that ball that far.
Yeah, there's a big gap behind Benulis. He could have, Hope could have run into that. He just could have put it over the top. Instead he didn't, but could have, would have, should have. There's Kirby, well and truly on top against Dennis at the moment. Laying on top of it though. He's going to go. No, it was Brodie Carroll. Mentha was asking the question. Punched out there by Dennis. Cameron Ellis-Yeoman. They cannot get clean possession away as Kieran Andrew stepped out, then went in.
Yeoman certainly picked up his work rate since half-time. He was pretty quiet there in that first half. Ball didn't go forward too much for him, though, but certainly in this quarter he's thrown his weight around a fair bit.
Oh, he's giving them an alternative to Sam Dunstan. But still not getting anything cleanly. One out by Kirby. Now it's one back to Kirby after a scuffle, and it comes back to him. It's bouncing. Turnbull was there against Bowden. Robbie Turnbull has been a bit of a surprise packet this year for Waratahs. Been very consistent. Had a great game for South Fremantle against the Northern Territory. And he's staying here so far. So he'll go potentially from one red and white jersey to the next when he goes to Perth. And Waitman just wrapped up there. Couldn't get away with anything. Umpire said no prior. Comes out over the back, William Collis. Handball on the ground. Great pick up off it there. Jake McQueen tapped over the back from Smith onto Waitman. Waitman's hurried kick dragged off it was Waddy by Dylan Barry. Let go by the umpire. Waitman again with another hurried kick. Takes a step. Oh, Bodies on the line out there at the moment. Major qualifying final. Why wouldn't it be? Ellis Yeoman again asking the question.
You're a week's rest for the winner of this game, and of course the loser will go and face St Mary's next week in the preliminary final. So the benefit of a week off and also going straight into the grand final.
Well, the Waratahs men would be hoping to get into that grand final because the Waratahs women today caused a major upset in the Women's Premier League, knocking off Pints in the women. Loose. Waratah, handball over the top. Here they go now. That was Magro. Magro's kick. Oh. Had his legs taken out, let go. Play it on was the call. Carlin with the handball up. Magro then dumped unceremoniously after possession. Anchors. Puts on a Shepherd. Gooch just sort of can't quite get away with it. He's going to get caught here if he doesn't get it out. Now he does. Comes in from Brodie Carroll. Just cleans it up beautifully. Golden had it. Lost it. Got it back. Tapped over the top by Magro to William Collis. William Collis from outside 50 to the square goes to Benulis, who's got a bouncing ball and a time. Driscoll just taking it easy. Isn't putting any effort to get to him. Hope sets himself up. Brought it down, couldn't control it. Play on is the call, comes to Collis, who's pumping the air because he kicked a goal.
Yeah, Hope run onto that one from a fair way out. Unfortunately, couldn't take it, but Collis was following through like a rover should and popped it over to the goal umpire's head for their first goal of the second half. They needed that one, as you said, a little bit of a mini fight back there from the Crocs, but that's a settler there for Waratah.
Yeah, that's a big settler. Benulis there had so much time. Driscoll didn't put his kick under any pressure at all.
Hope was waving his arms from a long way out. He went for it, nearly got the crab there. Oh, but then, of course, the rover just sitting there outside the pack and said, thank you very much.
Turnbull to Collis, and he just pumped the air. Look at me. You got to be happy with that. I tell you, I don't know if I was Shannon Rusker and I saw that Fraser Driscoll effort on the replay. I don't know if I'd be happy, Nick. You want your defenders doing 2, 3, 4 efforts. Comes out to Carroll. Carroll with a inside-out kick is just going to bounce into open space. It looks good. Step one way and then the other. Carlin. Oh, back in board. Anchors is, if he can get clean possession ahead of Fijo, he can. Magro trying to get one handball away, but it's going to be a throw. His arm was held by Schwartz. Good call by umpire Noonan.
Yep.
He had one hand held and then he tried to get the ball away. Not possible as Schwartz just plays on over the top to Fijo. Danger here for the Crocs. So Schwartz goes into centre half forward and just guiding it back is Waitman. Waitman can go inboard again looking for Dunstan. Dunstan gets interfered in the marking contest and will get a free kick.
Absolutely. Paid in front there. He just went through. He's hurt himself though when he's come through as well. But with certainly only one person going for the mark.
Yeah, one of those free kicks that is there every day of the week. Dunstan just set himself for it. The Tars defender realistically was never going to get a hand on it without interfering in the marking contest, and that's what happened.
So 6 goals of difference at the moment, going to bring this into 5.
Well, Dunstan is the number 19. At the moment, I've got him down for 1 in the second term. So let's see if he can become Southern District's first multiple goal scorer. As Dunstan comes in, he's only going to kick from about 30 out. About a 45-degree angle, and I think it's going to go across the front, and it did.
So 6 goals, 440 to 12-3. 76.
They bring it back out now, they're live. Gooch. He had to work a little bit on his knees to get that mark, but he's still got it anyway, and it comes over to Carlin again. They've got space if they go forward. They don't just have space, or backing into it there was Maney. Waratahs, though, have got the outlet. They got this build-up in the transition. They like to bring it in that way. Hope had one hand. 3-on-1, though. Comes out to Bowden. Bowden's had his work cut out for him tonight, and his kick was touched off the boot. Interfered with, and they can go back into attack. William Collis sets himself. It's at the back. William Collis can shake off one. Oh, hit with a huge hit was Rich. Then got taken out. There was Magro. In fact, it was William Collis again. Waratah putting his bottle on the line. Fijo with a great tackle. Wrapping up there is McQueen, who got the hot hands. Barry overruns it for Districts. Ellis Yeoman can get it on. Now it comes back to Dylan Barry, who's from 60 out, just puts it on the boot with a bouncing ball, but it's going to bounce through for a point. Willing there through the middle of the ground.
It's got the score correct now. 6 goals, 5-41 to 12-3-75. 34-point lead to Waratah after leading at 41 points at half-time.
Golden is on the receiving end of a 50-metre foot pass and goes out to, then goes inboard to Crocker. Crocker there was looking for Morris. The idea was right. Morris just at the last minute stumbling, going out of bounds. As a consequence, a few tired bodies out there. Third term, 19 minutes gone. We're a minute away from time on. Just the 3 goals scored in this term. 1 from Waratahs, 2 from Southern Districts. Been a mountain of footy in the middle of the field. It's marked there. So Waratahs again can repel the Crocodiles. Kirby was the target, and the ball's gone out of bounds. Golden just saying, why don't you just go short to me?
You're watching the AFL NT's coverage of the 22-23 TIO NTFL final series from TIO Stadium here in Darwin on a wonderful night. Breeze blowing across the ground, and currently a 34-point lead to the Tars.
Well, they've maintained this sort of margin for most of the night. Morris just toe poking it forward. Oh, they gained ground. That's pretty much it, the red and whites, but that's enough. Districts have got the work ahead of them with a quarter to go here at TIO. Not beyond them.
Absolutely not. They were minor premiers, only got beaten twice throughout the season.
Coming back from a margin like this, comes to Kirby, awkward handball out, ended up in the hands of Smith, who just put it downfield. Centre wing, but they're going to get away with it here again. Tars, and they do. Golden on the receiving end from the Kieran Andrew kick, and a 50 metres been paid. Smith grabbed him, I think, when he didn't, when he hadn't been told to play on, and so Golden will go back inside the 50. It'd be interesting to see if he's going to take a shot. Decent size 50.
Taking a long run up. There's very little on the line for him, so Hope's dropped back a little bit, but he looks like he's going to go for this one here.
Hope's just telling him to sit it up in the square if he doesn't think he can get it, but I think Golden's going to back himself beautifully, and he does, and he gets one.
So that brings it back to 2 goals each for this quarter after Southern Districts had a bit of a rally. Waratah have settled in the last couple of minutes as we're into time on. 13 goals, 3, 81 to 6-5, 41, so a 40-point lead to the Tars. They were 41 points up at half-time. So what looked like a big bit of a comeback for Southern Districts has been stopped very, very well by the Tars.
Oh, in fact, the one who gave away that 50 was Maney. He just held on to him a fraction too long there, the umpire on the spot.
Yep.
As Golden was trying to get back off the mark so we could look upfield, where he had Darcy Hope anyway in a one-out contest. Well, just taken high there. Is that Magro? No. It was Turnbull.
Certainly been a match winner tonight, Turnbull. He's been right into everything.
Very much a ball magnet. Oh, it comes out to Carlin, who just grabs it one hand, if you like, then has a bounce, then puts it up looking for Benulis. Hope stays down. It's William Collis in there for Tars, and comes out to Cameron Ellis-Yeoman. Oh, in fact, to Dennis. So Matty Dennis doesn't worry about going back. He just plays straight on. He just wants to keep it moving for the Crocodiles. Interference in the marking contest. And a 50-metre penalty has been paid as well because it was punched away. So Matty Dennis will get it and has a chance to go towards Dunstan. Dunstan stuck his hands up, went through them, comes out to Bowd. So Waratah's defenders tonight playing with composure. Anchors again. Has a mountain of time and space. His pass straight on the foot to Benulis. Tommy Benulis from about 70 out just chips it over the top to Collis.
Again, plenty of options there for him.
So Dylan Collis drifted down and right on the three-quarter time siren will go back and have an opportunity to kick Waratah's 14th goal so far. Major qualifying final. You would think Waratahs will have one hand on a grand final spot, Nick.
You would think so. They were 41 points up at half-time. They're currently 40 points up. So all that work Southern Districts here could be wiped out with this kick.
As Collis comes in and pushed it to the right-hand side, the left-hand side of the upright and through for a point. So perhaps a bit of a letdown after that effort and that build-up, but we'll come.
So it's a three-quarter time break here at TIO Stadium. Waratahs hold on to their 41-point lead after a bit of a comeback from Southern Districts. We'll be back at TIO Stadium after this short break.
This afternoon here at Waratah, TIO Stadium. To the left of your radio they go.
Wow, what a goal to start the game.
Beautiful. Goes for home and it's nailed an absolute ripstorter. From the pocket and he's kicked an absolute ripper.
Welcome back to the final quarter of the AFL NT's coverage of the 22-23 TIO NTFL final series here at TIO Stadium on Larrakia country. Semi-final 2 action, Southern Districts versus Waratah. Ashley Manakaris, Southern Districts started off that third quarter pretty well, but Waratah came back and held on to their half-time score of 41-point lead.
Yeah, I think the Southern District supporters would have had a little bit of hope thrown their way, but it got snuffed out towards the end there as Waratahs continued on with their workmanlike effort as Cameron Ellis-Yeoman gets taken down on his hands and knees as Kirby. Arnold Kirby has been outstanding for the Red and Whites tonight against a Nichols medal winning ruckman in Matty Dennis. And the boy from Swan Hill, Kirby, has done the job. Punch forward. And he comes out the back and he's got a runner there again through Collis. William Collis. It's over the back. Darcy Hope can run onto it if he can get a bounce. No, so he's got an outlet as well, and he uses Waddy. So Marcus Waddy's kick comes up, is intercepted though by McAdam. McAdams couldn't take it cleanly under pressure. Why wouldn't he? Sexton. Sexton gives it over to Mazzini. Mazzini onto the running Ronnie Fijo. Fijo has 2 bounces, not bad. Dylan McLaughlin came in. Can he have another one? He doesn't worry about it. He puts it straight on the boot looking for Dunstan. Punched away though by the Tars defenders. Bo Schwartz has had it stripped from him. Comes to Crocker. Handball over from Bowd. Now it's on to O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan's got Morris. Morris went to beat Fijo. Got out of trouble just. Coming through as Sexton again. McLaughlin cleans it up. He's got Dennis there if he wants. Instead, he's going to have to go backwards to a runner. And the runner is teammate Maney. Maney just chips it in looking for McQueen, who's tapped it forward. Here they go, the Crocs. Can they get away with one early? Schwartz picked it up. It gets wrapped up and brought to ground. And the umpire says, give it to me. No prior opportunity. The Tars defenders there, their second efforts, Nick, they've done it all night.
Yep. They've looked really good. They certainly could have been opened up pretty easily there. They had a couple of guys over the back, the Crocs, but they just couldn't find a way to get that ball across to them. And then, of course, here we are now with the ball wrapped up in at the 50. The Crocs desperately need to get the first one.
The Great Wall of Waratahs has stood in place. Punch forward. Golden couldn't quite get it. Comes out to Schwartz. Hurried kick. Left foot. Mentha running through. Can he get it? Get a sneaky left footed to it. Oh, well, that just shows you the type of desperation that the Waratahs team has taken in tonight. Daniel O'Dwyer take a bow, diving. Picks it out of the air and punches it through for a point.
Took a bit of time there. Changed the ball over.
O'Dwyer to his defending partner in crime, Jack O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan with a booming right footer just sends it out to the old centre wing area, scoreboard side. Anchors overruns it once. Cleaned up though by McLaughlin. They go back. They have time to settle it and bring it forward again. Oh, just dropping back was Jack O'Sullivan, put his body on the line. O'Dwyer just letting Dunstan know that there was no need to take him out. Umpires on the spot. O'Sullivan just got straight up and wanted to take a kick. Kirby worried Matt Shannon out of it. Now they can run away with it again through Anchors. Anchors on centre wing, just goes in short, sliding Jaden Magro. Jaden Magro just plays on quickly. Sends it up and he's got Benulis all on his own in that right forward pocket.
We'll have a look at that one again. There was probably again 2 or 3 people for Waratah standing around by themselves.
Well, statistically, Waratah is starting to really get away from them here. They've had 40 more disposals than their opponents, according to the stats that have just been landed up here. And they've had almost double the number of marks. So they're just using the ball better and getting their hands on it more often. As Tommy Benulis comes in. And I think he's made no mistake there as Tom Benulis, and he actually gets his second for the night and becomes another of the multiple goal scorers.
And definitely not what the Crocs wanted to start the quarter. 14 goals, 5, so fabulous accuracy from the Tars, 89 to 6-6-42. And the Crocs just haven't had their opportunities tonight. As we watch this replay here, took his time, but he had about 3 guys he aimed for, and he just picked the one out who was on his own.
Yeah, I'm not sure how Tom Benoulis gets out there on his own by such a big distance. Bowden was the closest to him, and he was still 10 metres away.
So we're back in the middle.
11 goal scorers tonight, Waratahs. Worrying sign, you would think, for any side that wants to play against them next in the grand final in 2 weeks' time. Because I've got to tell you, they've had one hand on it, one hand on the grand final at 3/4 time. They're pretty much going to have the second one on it in about 5 or 10 minutes' time. As Dennis won it out and then gets it back, and it comes out to Waitman. Waitman now just sends it up inside the 50. Punching over the top was Kieran Andrew. Bo Schwartz got it though, was waiting on the ground. Dunstan with a hurried left foot kick. There's a Tars player down, and it's Waratah. Comes out to Crocker. Sexton has worried his opponent out of it. Oh, taking him out, his legs out, let go. Play on was the call. Over the top. There's O'Dwyer. Bowd it is. Bowd comes out to Waratah, who is now up. They can't afford any other injuries from here, so Waratahs, or any injuries at all, you would hope, although they do have the extra week, as Hope just comes down, and Vice, like in a contested mark, just takes it against Manzini, and then he sends it up, and then Turnbull, one of the smallest men on the ground against one of the biggest. Turnbull just keeping pressure on the big ruckman. They try and keep it out and keep it moving. It's going to come back though to the outlet for Districts, and that outlet will use Waitman in the end. Waitman's cleaned up after disposal, so the kick will go downfield.
You're saying before, 11 goal scorers for Waratah tonight, and Magro's only had 4 possessions for the whole match, so you wouldn't have thought he would be there. So if he gets a couple as well,
when you consider,
they are going to be hard to beat.
When you consider that Magro has actually finished second in terms of the Dennis Dunn goal kicking list. Yep. In the Dennis Dunn Golden Boot, and he's kicked more than 50 for the season.
And I was at the Palmerston game a couple of weeks ago when he was aiming to win the record, and he had a couple of opportunities. He did not take them as a team spirit thing. He passed the ball on a couple of times, but tonight he's just been kept quiet, but he has been playing a bit more up the ground.
Gooch on his hands and knees, Bowed, and then Gooch gets it again. Can he bounce off 1 or 2 and get a boot on it? He tries. Carlin comes in, gives it out underground to Kirby. Kirby just guides it out through his bigger body, and the ball will be thrown in around about the 40-metre mark.
Has been absolutely influential tonight. Kirby's been everywhere. He's a distance. He's been all over the ground.
Yeah, look, you can never underestimate the ability of Matty Dennis, and if you go into a game, you'd think that Matthew Dennis is always going to have a good game. And look, to be honest, he's been one of Southern District's best, but gee, he's been outplayed and out-punched tonight by Kirby at key times. Oh, just taken high there was the District's player, but it was let go. And coming on down is Tom Benoulis again.
They're out of here again.
Now it comes over to Corey Rich, who has a bouncing ball. Can he get those green boots of his working? I think he can. Rich, right foot, running into goal, just pushes it to the left.
Had a couple of opportunities. Hope was standing right next to him. He could pass that over. Decided to go for it. Who can blame him when you've got 14 goals on the board?
As they come out through Ross. Now it's over the top. And to Matty Dennis. Corey Rich just trying to hold him up. Dennis just plays on quickly as he does. Big long kick forward. It's going to bounce over the back. There they have it again with time. Tars. Oh, the kick will stay in. Crocker will be the one. Bowd was the one that gave it.
Umpire was about 3 feet from that then, so he saw it and said it was marked in board, which it clearly was.
Crocker, one of the highest possession getters in the red and white jersey, gives it up to Benoulis, who, falling backward, manages to take it. Golden just drags it in with one hand. Golden's got anchors, but he ignores him. He can go in short, and he does, to Carlin. Carlin can turn and go if he wants. He doesn't. Now he just plays on. Fijo caught flat-footed. Golden looking for Darcy Hope. Bounced over the top. Free kick goes to Bowden. Advantage paid. It's going to be just kept in by Sexton. And Sexton up to Dennis. Matty Dennis jumping backwards. Borks one way, then the other. Now he's got to go over the top to McLaughlin. So Dylan McLaughlin gets it once. He's got to turn inboard. Now he's got to turn back the other way. It's not a great kick. Andrew is in there. Kieran Andrew got one hand on it. Gooch tries to shepherd from McQueen. Now Dunstan, wrapped up, brought down. Picked up by Dylan Barry. Snapped it, goal. The Crocs get another one.
Lucky thing there from Dylan Barron. He got his second goal of the game, but a lucky ball there. If we see it on replay, just probably the first time all night the Waratah's been a little few mistakes in defence. They've been rock solid all night, but of course occasionally you can let one go, and here was one here.
Dunstan was the one who got a handball away and it's landed in Dylan Barry's hand. So the Crocs clawed one back.
Still a 7-goal lead as we're 10 minutes into the final quarter. So you would say about 12 or 13 minutes left to go of this game.
Well, will that inspire them on? They'd have to win this out of the middle, Southern Districts. 22 points the margin at quarter time, 41 at half time, 41 at the 3-quarter time break. Tars have led the entire night as Dennis just takes it out of the air and just sends it back to centre half forward. Promising start after the restart. Bounces over the top. McLaughlin, handball straight onto Barry, the last goal kicker. Gives it off to Fijo. Not a great kick off the side of the boot. It's going to bounce. Bounce in the hands of Crocker, who gives a handball over to Brodie Carroll. Carroll can go in short, and he does. Picks out his teammate Morris. Morris just turns. He's looking for Darcy Hope on the lead. Hope's got about a metre or so break, but it's going to bounce in front of him and go out of bounds. Mazzini was just caught a little bit flat-footed there.
Absolutely. They've looked good with those handballs across the centre of the ground all night, Waratah. They've just had plenty of time, and they've certainly had far more possessions than Southern Districts, and looked a lot more control when they've had it as well. As we wait for this ball to come in, as we tick into the 12th minute mark of the final quarter.
Dennis wins it out. Comes back to Mentha. Mentha's kick again, not great on the ground. Cleaned up there by Waddy, although push in the back has already been found. It'll go to Bo Schwartz. So Schwartz, and a 50 metres been paid. Player didn't stand the mark. Well, they have an opportunity to get 2 in a row here, do Southern Districts. Mentha's just going to play, Bo Schwartz is just going to play on, and from 45 out, his kick is going to bounce in the hands of O'Sullivan, and O'Dwyer, and he gives it over to O'Sullivan. He comes out to Bowd.
When you're picking your best players, you can nearly say the back six of Waratah tonight could all get a vote. They've just been outstandingly strong.
They have certainly made it very difficult for their opponents. Corey Rich, Bowd. They've got plenty of time up their sleeve. Cree, he started the game very, very well, did Thomas Cree. Dylan Collis with body. No one really picks it up. Now they do through Waitman. Ross got it. Smothered off the boot, though, of Bowden. It's punched away over the top. Bowden's going to get it back from the long punch. He gets a kick over the top to Dylan McLaughlin. There's that Tars defence. Corey Rich, Bowd. He's got to dance around one. It's a kick, not a great kick. It's going to bounce up again. They held it up there. And umpire Noonan says, give it to me. They're about 20 metres in from the boundary line, just forward of the Southern Districts interchange box. Benulis just up. Mentha gets the kick away. Bounced over the top to Dylan McLaughlin. Dances around, shows the ball in the air, but it's a great smother off O'Sullivan. That type of second effort. A Sexton just taken out. McLaughlin's come in to remonstrate. Ball is kept to play on. Umpires are in there. Ball's gone out of bounds and will be thrown in. Well, I don't know if we're going to be able to see a replay of that. I don't think there was too much. I mean, he certainly got hit. Not sure whether it was high. We'll see how far back and if we can actually get anything. So there's McLaughlin. There's the smother right there from O'Sullivan. And we just stop as we go back live.
Ball out of play in the forward pocket. Called it deliberately out of bounds.
Must have just gone out on the full from the ruckman. They now go across field. Comes to Bowden, who has a bounce. He's getting chased by Magro. Magro. The kick out from Bowden. Waddy picks it up. Delahee. It comes back to Magro. Magro turns and goes in. And he's got a teammate there, and that's William Collis, who was all on his own. William Collis goes over the top to Morris. Morris just looks further upfield. Has he got anything? He's got hope. Over the back, though, was Dylan Collis, brother to brother. And Dylan Collis can go back in now. Interestingly, Dylan Collis hasn't actually kicked one tonight. He spent a large chunk of the game at the back, across half back, but they moved him up forward in this second half. And he too has proven to be a bit of a headache for the Southern District's defenders. As he comes in and guides it, and goal umpire Joanne Wood does not move.
It's the 12th goal kicker for Waratahs. 15 goals, 5. Fabulous kicking, 95 to 7-6, 48 Southern Districts. So they're winning the quarter again. They were up by 41 points at three-quarter time.
Well, the interesting thing about Waratahs tonight, apart from the accuracy of and how they've dismantled Southern Districts, is they have the longest drought in the NTFL, longest premiership drought. I think it's at about 24 years, 25 years, Nick.
Yep. And, of course, they're celebrating their 40th year this year as well, but they've had the celebrations. So into a grand final, you would definitely say now, and of course next week it'll be Southern Districts versus St Mary's in the prelim final.
There's Morris, just runs through, he got wrapped up. The handball was loose on the ground away from Mentha. Picked up though by Anchors, who just gave it off to Kirby so they can build this again, and Morris has run on to get it back. He started it in the middle from the tip out. So Morris told to get a move on, hurry up, and he does. And he goes in short. William Collis couldn't quite contain it. Districts will get out of trouble a little bit. Taken high in that tackle, though, was Ross. Couldn't do it. Now it's coming to Bowd. Bowd went to go. He gets grabbed and played on and called a play on, and so he should have. Crocker. Bowd again with a little chip back. It's not gone 15. Crocker can get him out of trouble. It's come to Kirby. Kirby just with a little kick, little toe poke over is not much good. Comes back. They're going to run out of trouble here, you would hope. It's going to bounce, though. It's not a great kick. It's ended up with Waddy from Waratahs to Magro. Magro took 2 bites and got it.
This is Magro's first opportunity of the night. He's had a pretty quiet night. He's run around a fair bit in the centre of the ground, but this is his first opportunity.
Well, he's got a very heavily right-strapped leg there around the calf, so I wonder if that's been a problem for him in the last few weeks. But he goes back. He's got a long way back. He's almost at the centre circle, and he's going to have a shot at goal. So clearly he wants to give himself that opportunity. They've already got 12 goal scorers, Waratahs. Can Magro make it 13? It's certainly going to have the distance, but in chasing distance, he pushed it off to the right and through for a point. Bowden just runs it straight out, and he's kicked it straight to Brodie Carroll. He gets his kick shrugged off, though, as Jake McQueen just got dealt with by Bowd. And it's body on body. Gone 19 minutes here, and we are a minute away from time on here at TIO Stadium. Dennis just punches it out. Crocker can't get clean hands on it. Picked up by Smith. Now on to Sexton. Sexton inside the 50. Dunstan got 1 or 2 hands on it. Dylan Barry's already got 2. Can he get a third if he can pick it up cleanly? I don't think he's going to get a chance to, because the boundary will beat him.
There won't be much time in this quarter. We've only had 3 goals scored. 2 goals to Waratahs and only 1 to Southern Districts. So Waratahs looks like they could win every quarter pretty easily at the end.
Bounced over the top. McQueen, he got hands on it. Comes to Sexton. Again, Sexton back to Fijo. Fijo's got to look inboard and he picks out McQueen. So they went a little bit backwards to go forwards, but it's worked out in the end for him because McQueen now will go back and have a shot at goal. If he scores, it'll be reward for his efforts tonight and a consolation for Southern Districts.
He got a bad knock right early in the game on that right elbow, and you see it's heavily strapped. He has been favouring it all night.
Not a bad looking kick off the boot, but he's pushed it left and through for a point.
So 7-7-49, 15-6-96.
Kieran Andrew got it off Golden and then gave it back to him. So Golden can just build it up for them. Andrew gets it back. You got Golden if you had him. He's also got O'Dwyer if he wants him as well, but he ignored him and just went forward. Cameron Ellis-Yeoman got one hand on it. Comes out to Dylan McLaughlin for Districts. McLaughlin going forward. Ross with some body. Couldn't quite get it over the top. O'Dwyer again. There's Bowd. Bowd again has been serviceable and useful. He's found Waddy. So Marcus Waddy comes to Corey Rich, who is waiting for the body. Didn't turn up. So Rich can look up ground. Darcy Hope made a lead and then let go, but he's got Waddy who just drifts down. So they'll just maintain possession here. Wind the clock down potentially a little bit. He's got Turnbull then in short, which he's now going to go to. He's going to be told to play on because it's not 15 as Turnbull then just goes long. Kirby sets himself at the front. Can't quite get a hold of it. Now it's picked off by Collis. Well, like a little thief, he just stole that out of the air from McAdam.
He could have been kicking 2 in a row then if he'd have got that one, but I don't think he thought that ball was going to come to him at the time, and he just rushed the kick.
So Matty Shannon picks out Sexton, another heavy knock. Waddy can't get clean possession, got a handball away. So coming in there to pick it up then was Benulis, who then gives it off to Waddy, who just steps out of bounds. Gee, it's going to be hard to find the best players for Waratahs tonight because there is so many. They have all contributed.
Yeah, right across the board, they've been outstanding tonight, Waratah. This was exactly what they would have wanted going into a grand final.
One out by Kirby. Anchors, Turnbull just turns into trouble. Loose, Anchors just soccers it off the ground. No dramas there, gets away with it. Magro, can Magro pick it up and get another one on the board? I think he can.
And
Magro gets his first, actually.
And all the Waratah players are coming to him from everywhere. He's been a big goal scorer from all season. You can see how happy they are that he's got that one.
I'm pretty sure he just signalled one then. Well, he's maybe suffered from the commentator's curse, Nick. Yeah, Anchors was clever then, just socketed it off the ground, but Magro keeps his feet and then just decides to put it through. So, you know, it's interesting. He becomes their 13th goal scorer tonight, Jaden Magro, and big effort from him. Very difficult to find the better players for tonight, but one of the things about Waratahs all season, and I've kept an eye on the stats which have popped up through the NTFL social media pages, is that Waratahs have consistently had 17, 18 and sometimes down to 21 players who have all had double-digit disposals.
Yep. They've certainly been grand finalists tonight, and they look really, really good.
As Anchors got it out of the middle and then puts it over to his teammate, who just runs in to an open goal, and it was William Collis, and it went through for a point in the end. Collis knew straight away it had left the boot. He went to set up as a defender. So I would think that we are watching Waratahs finalise their spot in the grand final, and I think that we have a new favourite for the NTFL Premiership for season 2022-23.
Absolutely, taking care of the minor premiers at the moment by 55 points as we're into coming up to the 25th minute mark of the final quarter. Can't be much more left to this game.
They were determined after losing last year to make amends this year, and the red and whites have set themselves up to do it as Turnbull sends it up to Hope. Coming through there again is Magro, and hurried kick, and again another point. So he's hungry for another goal before the siren sounds. 16-9, 7-7. 25 minutes gone. So Sexton.
3 goals to 1 in this quarter. They've just been strong all night, the Tars.
Mentha just punched it away from his opponent as it'll be picked up by Bowd. Bowd, another good game tonight. Andrew just lost it out the back. Couldn't get it. Dylan Barry can't get it off to Mentha. Now he tries to handball over his shoulder, but Bowd has come back. He'll be in possession when the siren sounds. That sends him into the grand final.
7 goals, 749 to 16-9. 105, a 56-point win. They were 22 points up at quarter time, 41 at half time and at the end of the third quarter, and then finishing up with 105 points on the board, so a 56-point win, so winning that quarter as well fairly comfortably. Goal scorers tonight, it was a heap of them for Waratahs.
13 in fact, and there's only 2 multiple goal scorers to make it easy, which was Robert Turnbull. 3 multiple goal scorers, Robert Turnbull, Tom Benoulis, and of course Darcy Hope, who also contributed with some fine aerial contested marking. And then from the top, this is not when they kicked the goals during the game, but Magro got 1, Brody Carroll got 1, Dylan Collis got 1, Thomas Cree got 1, William Collis got 1, Jake Bowd, Adam Golden, Corey Rich, and then down to Marcus Waddy, and the big man himself, Arnold Kirby, got 1. A much easier and a much smaller list at Southern Districts. There was 1 to Jake McQueen, 1 to Manzini, 1 to Sam Dunstan, then 1 to Jack Sexton, 1 to Cameron Ellis-Yeoman, 2 to Dylan Barry. He was the only multiple goal scorer, and at the end of the day he missed 1 or 2 as well, and then Luke Smith. But the thing about Dylan Barry's goals was they were both good snaps and came from decent build-up. But gee, the depth of Waratahs, I would be, and if I was a coach at St Mary's, and certainly now that Shannon Rusker knows what he's up against again, the depth of Waratahs tonight was something that was put on display.
Absolutely, they've got out the back a fair bit, best of grounds. We'll go through those in a second, but Arnold Kirby's goal, he'll be talking about that in the club room tonight and probably till the end of the season, and if they win the flag, he'll talk about it for another 12 months. But best on grounds, this is going to be a bigger list than the goal scorers, I would have thought, from Waratah.
Yeah, it is. Well, as I said to you, the depth goes back. Look, I'm not going to go too far past the efforts of people like of Turnbull and Thomas Cree early. The O'Dwyer and O'Sullivan up back, they were exceptional. Again, Bowd was very, very good. And Arnold Kirby comes up against Matty Dennis, who is recognised as one of the best ruckmen going around in the NTFL the last 3 seasons. And really did a great job against him, and I'm going to give the points to Arnold Kirby. Probably if it was a boxing bout, you'd say it's a technical knockout.
Absolutely.
But or it's a points game, not so much a knockout. But he had a great game, and then you can't go past the efforts of Darcy Hope, and you can't go past the efforts of Tom Benoulis. If it's not Darcy Hope that's taken the grab, it's Tom Benoulis setting it up. So Abe Ankers was another one that really chipped in there. Look, I think there is a lot for Ryan Ayres to be happy with. It wasn't all doom and gloom for Southern Districts. Jake McQueen had an outstanding game.
Yes.
So too did Jack Sexton. Cameron Ellis-Yeoman tried his hardest. They just couldn't get it to him enough. Matty Dennis was in there from the outset and just kept working hard. But after that, they were all cameo performances really that came in and out of the game. But over 4 quarters, Waratahs just had more contributors that went down to player number 22, and I think that's the key in a final, especially a major qualifying.
And don't write Southern Districts off, though. They were minor premiers, got a couple of big names to come back into that side. There was suspension this week from their captain and a few others.
And Jai Bolton's another one to come back in, and of course Dean Staunton, who was suspended. So next week, let's see what happens.
Absolutely. So thanks for joining us tonight for the finals action of the 22-23 TIO NTFL Men's Premier League competition. Next week, the prelim final, Southern Districts versus St Mary's. The winner will take on Waratah in the 22-23 TIO NTFL Grand Final in a couple of weeks' time. It's been a pleasure to host you this evening. My name is Nick Danks. I was joined by Ashley Manakaris. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you next week for the preliminary final.